I'm in Vung Tau, Vietnam, with two travellers who've made Southeast Asia their home. I'm doing an interview packed with useful English phrases and tips for your next adventure. Thank you for joining me. How does English help you with travelling?
English is still the international language. If you're traveling around the world, if you're doing tours, you should expect most people to be able to communicate with you in English only, even in countries where English is not the first language. For example, in Vietnam, if you come to Vietnam and if you're gonna go stay at a hotel or a hostel or do a tour or something, the guides will most likely speak English. So it is the most common language of communication in other countries, which is why it's useful and helpful to learn English.
Do you have any tips for effective communication when chatting with people who don't have English as a first language?
This is a very good question, Ruben. I would say the best thing to do in this case, if you're talking to someone whose first language is not English, keep it simple. Do not use fancy words. Do not overcomplicate things. Keep things simple, short sentences, and also try to speak slowly. If English is your first language, or if you have been learning English for a long time, you're very fluent in it, try to speak slowly and enunciate your words. Speak clearly and slowly, and most of the times people will understand even complicated things. If you have to say something more complicated, they will understand a lot just if you speak slowly and clearly. That's got to be my recommendation.
Yeah, I would say the same. Speak very slowly, and then definitely pronounce or enunciate your words. Because from what I've found from experience is that a lot of places that you go, it might be English is in the hotel, but it's not outside in the restaurants. So you have to have a lot of patience, actually, and keep your English very short. Yeah.
Have you ever had any cultural misunderstandings, and do you have any tips to avoid them?
Cultural misunderstandings in Southeast Asia might be with transactions, I think. When you're doing transactions, buying something, I would say maybe we have to use a translator ourselves, and there's maybe a lack of patience with the English translating it over. So what I found personally is we don't translate the English back over into their language correctly, so they do get confused.
I don't know if this fits into your next question or not, but sometimes people, a lot of places, restaurants or street side food carts will not have the prices listed on a menu. And so people just go and order something, go ahead and order, and they don't know what to expect for the price. So this is something I recommend always confirming with the vendor or the person in charge how much they're charging for such product and service, because this can lead to confusion sometimes. This has happened before.
If you could offer one English phrase to travellers, what would it be and why?
One English phrase for travelers, I think, would be, again, transaction. How much? Or if you're dealing with prices higher or lower, depending on your situation and their level of English as well. So if you're dealing with tours, where you are going geographically, where you're going to be, I think, on tours. Depends on your environment, I would say. So each place is going to be a little bit different. But prices, definitely people need to know in English. Here, I think they use calculator, but I'll speak English with them. Yeah, numbers. Yeah.
From my experience in Southeast Asia, I'd say a phrase that they use a lot is an English phrase, which is "nice to meet you." This is a phrase that is used a lot in Vietnam, even by people that don't exactly speak much English, but they always understand what nice to meet you means, and they always use that, they say that, and it's a nice way to break the ice or to start a conversation with someone, or it's just to exchange politeness. I think that's an important phrase to have in your repertoire and use it. Nice to meet you.
Which phrases in the local language would you recommend someone to learn?
I have to ask you, when you say local language, which country are you talking about? Obviously, every country speaks a different language. So.
For example, if you travel to Vietnam, should you learn how to say Xin Chào or Cảm ơn? Or if you go to Thailand, should you say Sawadee Kap or Kop Chai Lolai if you're in Laos?
This helps. That's a good question. I'd say, so I can speak for Vietnam since I've been traveling and living in Vietnam for a while. Xin Chào is hello. Ciao is a short form of Xin Chào, and you'll see the local people don't always say Xin Chào, but they just say Ciao, which makes things a little bit easier. Cảm ơn is thank you, and if you have to ask for the price, bao nhiêu. Bao nhiêu is how much. That helps a lot. I'd say that's one of the more important phrases to know.
So are there any apps that you'd recommend for traveling?
If you're coming to Southeast Asia specifically, I would recommend using Grab. Grab is an application that is available all over Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia. It's an app for transport. You can call a motorbike taxi or a car, or you can also have food delivered to your home or to your hotel. The options for food is endless. It's very convenient to use. You can link your bank account.
Do you recommend any websites or ways to book accommodation when you're traveling?
Depending on the country you're in, I would say booking through popular websites such as booking.com. Airbnb is good, or Agoda. You might want to ask about the amenities in the rooms or around the hotel. Things that you might need if you're going to stay longer than 1 or 2 days, maybe supermarkets or barbershops, things of convenience.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, or a final tip for travelers coming to Southeast Asia or traveling in general anywhere in the world?
I would say the most helpful would be to translate English to learn the numbers in the country that you're in. At least maybe 1 through 20, and then your food, because like I said, most of your vendors are not going to speak English, so I would translate that over from English language. Yeah, definitely. The food, numbers. And then polite phrases, yeah, definitely.
Learn a little bit of the local language, wherever it is you're going, whatever country that is. Just formalities, just how to say hello, thank you, good night, things like that. Keep an open mind. Watch how people behave, and you should be okay, I think, yeah.
Thank you for watching this episode of English for Traveling. Let me know in the comments which piece of advice was most helpful.